Unit 1.6 Fundraising Guidelines and Activities. A permit is required regardless of whether you raise funds for local or overseas charities and voluntary welfare organizations. For local charities and voluntary welfare organizations, application for a permit is done with the Police Licensing Division. Alternatively, you may obtain the permit from the National Council of Social Service. After applying for the permit, your committee will need to ensure that the following documents are submitted: the collection forms or serialized cards, a list of student helpers, as well as records of the donor's particulars. For overseas charity organizations, you will need to obtain a fundraising permit for foreign charitable causes from the Commissioner of Charities. To apply, you will need to submit a letter from the overseas charity or any other relevant supporting documents, a letter of support from OSA, and a list of student helpers. Do take note that should your student group collaborate with external organizations such as Singapore Red Cross or Mercy Relief who already possess a permit, you need not reapply and may ride on the existing permit to conduct the fundraising activity. There are other types of fundraising activities, namely house-to-house or street collection, fundraising for youth expedition projects or student groups, and fund collections carried out by a member of NCSS. For house-to-house and street collection, such as newspaper or canned food collections, you may apply for a fundraising permit with the Police Licensing Division. You should also seek approval from NEA and the respective town council to conduct the activity. In the case of fundraising for youth expedition projects or for your own student group, a permit is not required for these activities if conducted on campus. Fundraising activities must be confined to designated locations on campus and approval must be sought from your staff advisor and OSA. There should not be any solicitation of funds, whether in public or during charity car washes and bazaars. For example, asking for donation with donation tins at these events is not allowed. If a collection is carried out by a member of NCSS or the community chest, a permit is not required as well. However, written approval from the CEO of NCSS has to be obtained before the collection. Last point to note, for activities that have obtained the police permit for the purpose of raising funds, they are required to engage certified auditors to conduct audit for the financial accounts within 2 months after the event. Some common fundraising activities held by student groups include bazaars, car washes, and newspaper collections. A bazaar, fair, or carnival is an event organized by a student group for the purpose of raising funds to support a particular cause. It can be held indoors or outdoors that may involve extensive setup of tentages or structures. Each student group is allowed to organize only one bazaar or event similar in nature per academic year. This event is commonly held at the open venues, Central Library Forum, Science Foyer, as well as Town Plaza located in U-Town. You should be familiar with the terms and conditions and guidelines governing the usage of these venues prior to the event. Next, proper housekeeping should be maintained at all times during bazaars. This includes ensuring the cleanliness of the venues at the end of each day, as well as taping down all electrical points and wires at the site. An important point to note, any non-compliance or breach of bazaar guidelines can lead to immediate suspension of the bazaar or even a possible ban on the student group to hold future bazaars. For more information on bazaar guidelines, you may refer to the Student Leaders Handbook at the link provided. Other than the event details mentioned in Unit 1.2, the proposal of a bazaar should include the following: list of vendors and the details of items to be sold, the event layout including the allocation of the booths corresponding to the vendors list, safety plan that is reviewed by the Office of Safety, Health and Environment, OSHE in short, and approved by a staff advisor. Last but not least, the organizer should ensure that all vendors sign the license agreement set out by NUS before they are allowed to participate in the bazaar. You may check with your OSA staff advisor or in charge for more information. At least 2 weeks before the event, the organizer is also required to apply for the temporary change of use permit online. The event layout has to be submitted along with the application. In this slide, we will be going through some pointers that you need to know on goods sold at bazaars. For sale of non-food items, vendors should avoid selling goods that are already sold at the NUS retail outlets. Sale of pirated or counterfeit goods and products by any vendor is not allowed. The goods sold must be according to the list of items submitted along with the proposal. For sale of food items, only pre-packed and sealed food items and canned drinks obtained from licensed vendors can be sold at the bazaar. Food items should be stored in optimal condition, such as having freezers or ice box with dry ice for ice cream. Food handlers must observe a high standard of good and personal hygiene. Last but not least, vendors are required to provide the relevant NEA licenses for the sale of ice cream at outdoor venues. We will now move on to the second type of fundraising activity, which is car wash services provided by student groups. During the car wash, there must not be any solicitation of direct cash donations. For example, using donation tins. Cash donations may only be collected if car washing service has been provided by the group. Prior to the car wash, apart from seeking approval from staff advisors and OSA, student groups will need to seek clearance from the Office of Campus Amenities. The car park, date and duration of event should be indicated in the proposal. In addition, permission should be sought from the venue owners at least 2 weeks in advance for the use of water from toilet facilities within the halls of faculties. You are reminded to use car-friendly cleaning products. Be extra careful of sand and grit on the cleaning materials to prevent damage to the vehicle. Lastly, be accountable. If the committee has collected cash in advance, please ensure that the car wash service is carried out. Contact the owner for a makeup session in the event that the car wash has to be rescheduled due to unforeseen circumstances. The third type of fundraising activity that we will be going through is newspaper collection. Similar to all activities, approval is required from the staff advisor before you proceed with the event preparation. He or she should approve the content of the collateral. The use of NUS logo is not allowed for publicity purposes. Should you wish to use the faculty or school logo, please seek permission from the respective dean's offices. Publicity flyers should include the date and time of event, items to be collected, name of group, purpose of collection, and contact details. NEA and Town Council should be notified of newspaper collections to avoid any clash with other student groups and potential complaints or queries from residents. A backup plan should be in place to inform residents if collection cannot be completed on the event day due to unforeseen circumstances. Alternative arrangements should be made to complete the collection on another day. Last but not least, the project committee will need to submit an application to obtain the police permit should they wish to raise funds through newspaper collection. You may refer to the earlier slides in this unit for more information.